Just when you think you have the answers, they keep changing the questions on us. Great Caesar's ghost, Jackson. You know what this means? To the back copter we go. We got a report on this. Let's go to the back copter, shall we? Because it's breaking news. Actually, two big breaking news. Not just one, but two. Like I said, just when you think you know what someone's going to do, they change it all on you. They change the answers. And that's the world of college football as we know. Good buddy. So, and to all of our people that were expecting not to see us tonight, like I said, we had to come to the back copter and report this breaking news and talk about it for a minute. Um, but Jackson, how have you been other than this news that's been breaking?
Oh, I've been all right. Like when I saw this news about Coach Gundy today, that was unexpected. Like not so much that he was going to be fired, but when he was going to be fired, honestly.
And Jackson, and I will say this too, John Mateer's injury that also broke today as well. So we're going to talk about that tonight as well. We got two big breaking news segments for you here, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions, and if we have time at the end, we'll take calls tonight. But remember,
I agree.
don't don't bring any politics into it, and keep it short and sweet. Okay, that's all we ask. Keep it short and
There
sweet.
you
No politics, uh, and just challenge the argument. Don't challenge the person. Just be
No
respectful to
debate
your
about the
peers.
great pumpkin
Yeah,
tonight.
exactly. If you disagree with something, that's fine. But let's keep it civil. You can disagree, but let's just not get hateful. It's not a platform for that. We should be bringing each other together and talking some college football. That's all we ask. But Jackson, with that being said, as we've arrived to say Gotham City or report to Gotham City, since we just got in the back copter, as I like to call it, um, the first breaking news of the day. Well, we'll get to the bigger one here in a second, but John Mateer is injured, Jackson. It was reported earlier today that he will undergo surgery Wednesday to address a right hand injury he sustained against Auburn. Head coach Brent
Mhm.
Venables announced he will return to action sometime this season, and the current timetable is anywhere from 3 to maybe a month, 3 weeks to a month. So, with this breaking news coming out, Jackson, where does this leave Oklahoma? Because it doesn't get any easier from here.
Well, honestly, it luckily this week's a bye week. Next week is Kent State. But they are going to have to deal with Texas on October 11th. They are going to have to
Mm-hmm.
deal with South Carolina on October 18th. They've got Ole Miss. November 1st, they've got Tennessee. November 8th, they've got the
Uh,
bye week. But we're definitely going to see how the backup quarterback, Michael Hawkins, will perform while Mateer
well,
is recovering from surgery.
Well, Jackson, we saw a bit of a sample size with him last year, if you remember, and that's why they went out and got Mateer. Now, I know this is a different team, different circumstances, but Jackson, looking at Oklahoma's schedule, in which I could pull it up real fast here while we talk about this, because this is interesting, Jackson. So Michael Hawkins Jr. You remember last year, Jackson? A lot of people touted him as one of those guys. He could very well be be the next phenom quarterback in college
Mhm.
football, and it just was. He didn't turn out as well as everyone thought. And with this news that he broke his hand, and Skeet Rat paying a little tribute to Mike Gundy, which Jackson and me will give our best impressions of that when we get to that. But um, thank you for being here, Skeet Rat. Or Skate Rat, not Skeet Rat. Sorry about that, Skate Rat. Um, yes, and Steve says elite slate of games this week. We will get to that tomorrow night, Steve. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Don't you worry. But to this though, Jackson. So Michael Hawkins, he showed flashes of being good. but he also showed some really bad performances. So I'm kind of worried because Jackson, they got one of the tougher draws in the SEC. And it just seemed like Jackson, Brent Venables was saving, Mateer and company was saving Venables' job. That Oklahoma might be having one of the magical 10-2 seasons and an SEC title berth by the way they were playing. They were playing some really good football. But once again, Jackson, it's going to be on the defense to win these games. So, looking at Oklahoma's schedule, let's pull this up. Pull up Oklahoma's schedule.
Well, Mateer's
while
back
we
by
talk
the
about-
time they play Alabama, so there's no worries there for the Sooners.
Well, Jackson, that's the hope, but we know with setbacks and stuff, too. Like, that's what we hope. Okay. So, Jackson, if Alabama's the timetable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can they win these games without him?
I think they can.
What do you think?
I believe they can.
Really? Okay.
I'm not saying
because
you're going to
it's
see
Texas.
Oklahoma beaten. That's not going to happen. I'm saying you'll see at least one loss, but it's not the end of the world if they enter one loss going into mid-November. That's a good thing.
Here's the thing, Jackson. But look at who they play, though. Here's the thing. Kent State, they should win. Without Mateer, they should win. The defense and the offense should be fine. Texas, it's a rivalry game, but we saw Michael Hawkins in that game last year. It's going to be a lot on the defense. Can they go to South Carolina and win? I don't know without Mateer. Can they beat Ole Miss at home? I'm not so sure. Like Jackson, Mateer was what made this Oklahoma team as dangerous as they are. Without him, I'm not so sure anymore. And then they go at Tennessee, and then if he's not back by at Bama, Jackson, we could be looking at Oklahoma being 5-5 potentially.
Nah, they won't be. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, good buddy. That's not gonna happen.
I'm not throwing the baby out. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, Jackson. But you have to understand. Did you not see Michael Hawkins Jr. play last year?
Oh, I did.
Like, have you seen? Okay, you see why I'm a little concerned. Because Jackson, I feel like you can only do so much for the damn break, so to speak. And if Oklahoma's back to what they were last year, not scoring very many points, they might lose a lot of these games. I'm just saying. They better hope and pray that they can hold on. If they lose to Texas, Jackson, okay, it's Texas, but then every other game becomes must win, in my opinion. If they want to make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I mean, are you not concerned at all, Jackson? Are you not concerned?
I am, but I'm not gonna be, running like a chicken with its head cut off right away.
And Randy Anderson says, "How bad is Mateer's injury? I just now found out he was injured. It's a broken bone, I think, in his left thumb. I think it was his throwing thumb. I think his right hand. Then, and depending on how bad it's broken, the surgeries can take anywhere from the reports that I've read is anywhere from 3 weeks to a month. Like he should be back by this season if there's no setback.
But I'll tell you why I'm not panicking about this, Austin. What was something that what was it that Oklahoma had last year but didn't have this year? They didn't have Ben Arbuckle as their offensive coordinator last year.
You're right, Jackson. You're absolutely right. That's a good point. And he could scheme up an offense. Now, here's the thing, though, Jackson. But looking at who they play, though, that's what I'm getting at. Do you think he could scheme up a good enough game to go at Tennessee, to play their rival Texas, to go at? South Carolina. Is he going to
I
be able to
believe he
handle
can. I
that?
mean, South Carolina tends to be disappointing with a lot of people have expectations on them. That's the thing
Mm-hmm.
about South Carolina. I really don't know what version of South Carolina we're going to get by that time.
Here's the thing, too, Jackson, with it. It's at South Carolina. That's why it's a toss up because, especially Jackson, at night, South Carolina tends to play really good at night. Now, the Vandy game, that was ugly, but I just don't know, Jackson. I'm not going to say they're done for, but their margin for error just shrunk. Like, Jackson, if Bama's the target game, how many games? And like 1-2 says, Jackson, you don't just lose your QB1 and adjust like fine like that. He's got a point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I know
like
it.
Jackson, we're all over here concerned, and you're just over here like, it's another day in the park. Like, I know you believe in Ben Arbuckle, good buddy, but are you not scared at all? I mean,
There's plenty of football left for me. You have to adjust. You have to adjust.
but like he said though, you can't just adjust like that though.
I
I mean, the
know.
bye week does help, yes, but Jackson, but I just have a hard time with this notion that Oklahoma's going to be just fine. I feel like Jackson, Oklahoma may have 3 losses before Mateer even gets a chance to get back on the field.
Well, that's better than where they were last year.
But here's the thing, though, Jackson. We were talking about this team having aspirations to go to the SEC championship game,
I
maybe
know.
be a team to win the SEC. And all of a sudden, you go from that to a 9-3, hoping the committee doesn't hold the injury against you, is what I'm getting at.
Well, if they do, then the committee sucks. So
I mean, let me ask the chat. Let me ask the chat here. Since Jackson, since he's not, he's like, it'll be fine. Shoot. And 1-2 says, whatever AP voter gave Oklahoma that first place vote is crazy. Championship teams can overcome injuries like that. Next
yes.
man up. And Georgia fights. He's having a good time already. See,
I mean,
this is
Michael
Jackson.
Hawkins sucked last year. I'll give you that. But and I'm not saying he's automatically going to turn everything around, but he's got a better chance of having a better season with Ben Arbuckle as his offensive coordinator because, like, they have some guy named Joe John Finley. I mean, that sounds like some dude that works with Hank on King of the Hill. Like, really, it's like, so, I mean, you got Joe John or Joe Jack or whatever. They're not going to win ball games for you. Ben Arbuckle's helping Brent Venables win some ball games, man.
And put the report back up here real fast so everyone can see it. John Mateer will undergo surgery Wednesday to address a right hand injury, which is his throwing hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it was believed to be in his thumb bone, is what they believe it was. And it came on a hit on a helmet that he took, which, Jackson, that was one of them. When I originally saw it, I didn't think it was as bad as it originally looked. But going back, looking at it again today, Jackson, the way his thumb bent back, it kind of looked nasty.
Yeah.
And Trojan Fight says, I'm not an Oklahoma fan, but if there's any team that could afford to lose their QB1, it's them. What do you? I don't know. Like Trojan Fight and you, Jackson, seem to buy this notion that Oklahoma's going to be just fine. I can't see it. Like past Kent State, I really can't see it. Like, I'll give him the Kent State victory, but Texas, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and if he's not backed by Bama, like Jackson, these are not your average Joe teams that are just starting. These are teams that we expect to be in the playoffs, maybe even win some playoff games, if not win the SEC. Like, how does that not make you want to hit the panic button?
Because Oklahoma is not the team that should be panicking just yet. It's not like Clemson. It's not like Oklahoma State. It's certainly not like UCLA. You can't hit the panic button on an unbeaten team.
I don't know, Jackson, but like 1-2 said earlier, when John Mateer was playing as good as he was, and the way their offense was humming, I just don't know. I I just don't know, Jackson. And
Well, Steve
Steve said,
agrees with
"Oh,
you, Austin. He agrees with you, good buddy.
like I know we'll have time to get to Gundy here in just a second, but this is something we have to talk about.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you can't just shake it off, good buddy. We got to talk about this just a little
I'm
bit
not
because,
shaking
like,
it
Steve,
off.
like,
I'm just saying, like I'm looking at the rest of the teams. We don't know where Ole Miss at, but we'll know a lot more about them after LSU, after Georgia. Ole Miss could have 2 losses by the time Oklahoma plays them, or Ole Miss could be unbeaten. They could have 1 loss. We don't know about Ole Miss. Texas, they could be looking ahead to Oklahoma next week when they play Florida.
mm-hmm. And 1-2 says
That
Oklahoma
was going to
barely
be a
won
close
at
one no matter
home
what. Like Oklahoma
with
Auburn is going
huge
to be
help
a close one.
from the refs against the now unranked Auburn Tigers. No QB1 only gets worse.
They had a
Jackson,
little
you're the
bit
only
of
one.
help. They didn't need that much help. Like, come on.
Jackson, you're the only one here that's not hitting the panic button. Everyone in the chat's kind of with me. It's time to hit the panic button. You're just
Well,
like,
sometimes, it's not always good to be in the majority. It's sometimes a good thing to be in the minority. Because then in the long term it can work out well.
uh, Trojan Fight says it's not just a simple setting the bone and wearing a cast. I think it's closer to 6 weeks than 4. Yeah. This is what that's the funny thing. That's what Venables and them are thinking. I've never had an injury in my hand or broken any bones, so I won't be the expert. I can only tell you what we've heard. I've heard 3 weeks to a month. I, so that would fall in the 6 week timeline. Um, and B Bean says nope. I agree with Jackson. Okay, you got someone on your side. I'll just say this: Oklahoma's going to have to show me something because Jackson, if Michael Hawkins is not improved from what he was last year, and I know this is a whole different roster, but if they are not playing Texas in a close ball game, then we got some problems. Because if they get blown out by Texas, you can consider it done, Jackson. Their season, as we know it, is done. It's over, in my opinion. They have to at least play Texas close. And yes, and B Bean says Oklahoma's defense will step up more. And
Mm-hmm.
I can get with that. If Oklahoma's defense could be like Iowa's defense and limit offenses, then they got a chance. But we'll see where we go from here. I'm just saying this is a major blow. And like a lot of people, Jackson, I'm ready to hit the panic button because of the way Oklahoma was playing. And 1-2 says you don't recover from a throwing hand surgery in a couple weeks. It could be months.
Oh, I know
That's
it.
true. Now this is what Venables is saying. So Venables and the staff saying now either they're being hopeful or they know something. It's maybe they thought it wasn't as bad as we originally thought. Okay. But Bean's calling his shot, Jackson. He said, I told y'all Arch was a bust before the season started. Oklahoma will still beat Texas. All right, Ravine, we're gonna mark that down. We're gonna mark that down. And Drew Doug Longhorn said Mateer didn't even look that good at all, missing wide open throws like Arch. I mean, what do you think, Jackson? Does he have a point?
I think Mateer's was doing all right.
Well, and I will say this too, though, Jackson. Did you see the updated Heisman odds before we move on?
Yeah, I did. He was the Heisman favorite, but he's not the Heisman favorite anymore. But you know what? The Heisman is basically a popularity contest, anyways. So don't worry about it if you're John Mateer.
And that's true. That's true, but and B Bean says, "Who's the favorite now?"
Who cares is the favorite.
Believe it or not, Jackson. Jackson. He asked a question. No need to be smart here.
I know. I was just being a smart ass tonight.
Yeah. See, this is what. See. This is what happens when you have to do a show with Jackson on his day off.
No, but
believe it or not, it's Fernando. I think it's Fernando Mendoza.
Yes, it is.
What I saw.
Yep. Yep.
Guess what, Steve? It is Mendoza. We're not even joking. Hold on.
Oh my God.
While we're on the subject of this, let me pull this up for y'all because I do want you all to see this. Mendoza is the favorite now. And it is funny too. He says, "Don't say Mendoza." Here's the thing.
I was looking on FanDuel, that's what it said.
Mm-hmm. Jackson, if you don't mind, share the screen if you don't mind, because that way Steve knows we're not messing with him. Get rid of mine. Let Jackson present the beautiful evidence to you.
There we go.
While he's doing that, I'll read these comments. Hummus says, "What's up, Jackson?" And of course, me and everyone.
Hummus? How you doing tonight, good buddy?
And Dave says, "If he destroys Iowa, I will be really impressed." See, and Jackson's got the proof. We're not messing with you. Fernando Mendoza, number one. He's the betting favorite. I'm not sure. Has a Heisman winner ever missed a month? Heck,
no.
Has a Heisman finalist ever missed that much time?
No.
I don't think so. I think the most games you can miss and still have a chance is maybe 2. And even then they penalize you.
Half a game.
Yeah.
It feels like Jeffrey's behind, or at least he tries to be. No worries.
Yeah. Indiana University's never had a Heisman Trophy winner. Well, but guess what? They may get one. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on in the Heisman race. But me personally, I'm just like somebody that really shouldn't win the Heisman is gonna win it.
And Coach Fight has a little bit of an off question I'll answer real quick, and then we'll get to the other breaking news segment of the day. And he said, and also slightly off topic, but Miller Moss just threw 2 touchdown passes through three games versus some pretty bad opponents. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of finding his footing. Hey, a little more rougher start than I thought he would have, but we have such a potent run game, he really doesn't even have to do that much. So if his stats don't look good, it's more of just one of them. Our offense is more centered around run, and they break a lot of runs in our offense. That's the thing. So it's just one of them. If his stats don't look that good, even against the better opponents or the bad opponents, try not to pay too much attention to it. I know the stat box watcher people will be like, "Oh, he sucks." No, it's the offense he plays in. Be being asked, "Is the Heisman still relevant?" Huh? What do you think, Jackson? You think the Heisman's still relevant?
Why do you think I was like, who cares on the favorite?
I mean, they still make commercials and stuff out of them.
They do.
Um, and Randy Anderson has a question for you, Jackson. He says, "I know this is off topic, but how do we feel about the game with Georgia and Bama?"
I think
Jackson, give him a
Alabama
sneak
has pretty
preview.
good. We have a pretty good chance against Georgia.
Okay, that's a sneak preview. Randy Anderson be back tomorrow night, and Jackson will give you our full predictions.
Oh
He will
man.
give you full. Um, and be being asked a lot of questions tonight, and thank you all for them. Should the Heisman be retired?
Nah.
Um,
Nah.
hmm.
We
Oh
wouldn't
boy,
have
and Steve's
anything
on
to
it.
talk smack about if it went away.
Steve, how did Indiana get brought up in it? Okay, I'll read this. Signetti is elite, though. What he has done in Indiana is remarkable. Okay. Um, and Steve says it's a QB award now. It's a QB award now. Unless you have someone like a Genty or Travis Hunter who can absolutely light up the field, yeah, it's more than likely to go to a QB. Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith, they would be two people that could win the Heisman this year if they play lights out. Um, and Drew DeLonghorn said Pavia 3,500 and Arch at 4,000 are the best values.
Oh hell,
Um,
I'd probably put Diego Pavia at the higher value, honestly, especially if he keeps performing like he is.
And Trojan Fight says I'd have to go look at year to year, but the Heisman kind of rarely has a championship winning team.
Well, I mean, there's Cam Newton 2010, Mark Ingram 2009, Matt Leinart 2004. Um,
Derrick Henry, did
yep,
y'all win the title that year?
2015. Yep,
Devontae Smith, Bama
yep.
won the title that year. Smith won it. Um, but Jackson, you want to know something else though? As great as all them teams are, there was one coach that epitomized the sport as we know it. He had some classic sayings, brought a program championship prestige. And Jackson, I know a lot of people love his famous saying, "I'm a man, I'm 40." But Jackson, behind all that mystique, Mr. Mike Gundy was fired today, unfortunately. But Mike Gundy was fired today and will no longer be resuming the position at Oklahoma State. And here are some of his accomplishments in his illustrious career. And Jackson, what a resume Mr. Gundy has and what he's done for Oklahoma State. Fired after 20 seasons. What do you think, Jackson?
Oh man, the old era of the Big 12 is officially gone now. Like when I'm thinking of the old era, it's Matt Brown, Bob Stoops, Mike Leach, and Mike Gundy, Gary Pinkel.
Mm-hmm.
But today that era has officially ended. And
Mm-hmm.
well, honestly, they wanted to kind of, if they did it on Sunday, apparently that would have been too obvious. They did it unexpectedly. And plus, they didn't want the players leaving right away. They didn't, because of the 4-game rule where you could
Mm-hmm.
redshirt or basically transfer, so to speak. But guess what? The 30-day rule is now starting. So you might see some players leaving in season Oklahoma State within the 30-day rule.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
And
yeah,
like,
that's another thing though, that Tulsa loss, that was the first time since 1998 that they lost to Tulsa, and the first time since 1951 that they lost to Tulsa and Stillwater. I think the Board of Regents were
mm-hmm.
kind of just sick and tired of the Mike Gundy era. They were like, we're not getting anywhere fast enough. All we're hearing is excuses. And he doesn't want to, go along with the times with NIL. He doesn't want to pay the players. He just wants to complain about kids these days.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing, Jackson. The Was it time for Gundy to go? I'm I'm kind of conflicted because here's why. Because just a couple years ago, Jackson, they were playing in the Big 12 championship against Texas just 2 years ago. I know that's a long time to some people, but it was just 2 years ago when they had with Ollie Gordon and company, and they played in a major bowl game. And Jackson, I know they had that bad loss to South Alabama, but they won the last ever of the Bedlam series for now.
But
Um,
the thing is, it's what have you done for me lately, not what you
I
did.
understand that.
It's not what you
I
did
understand
a
that.
year ago. It's what have you done
Well,
for
I
me.
understand that. I understand that, Jackson, but it just seems like it didn't seem like he was falling off as bad as people wanted to make it seem. Like he was just in the Big 12 title game 2 years ago, and then
Mhm.
he had the year last year that was pretty rocky, and then this year, and it just seems like okay, I get it. The Tulsa loss, South Alabama, it kind of compiled, and I think Jackson what saved him Jackson 2 years ago was the fact he made the Big 12 title game and the fact that he won the last ever Bedlam game. Because Jackson, there was a lot of people that thought he could have been fired last year. There was a lot of people that said that. But I think the fact that he won the Bedlam, he's coming off a Big 12 title appearance, and it was one of them they were kind of like, okay, and we love Coach Gundy. And here's the thing too, Jackson. When you talk about Coach Gundy, he's the reason Oklahoma State is the program it is today.
Mhm.
He's responsible for 8 different 10-win seasons and 2 different 12-win seasons.
True.
Oh, that man right there. And like Hummus said earlier, he's a Hall of Fame coach. I
Yeah.
mean, 12 bowl wins like his career resume. He's won 170 games in his career. And I know the last couple years got bad, Jackson, but it's just like I just feel like for all that he's done with the program, they could have at least let him finish this year. Could have given him that grace. And I understand it's one of them. They lost to Tulsa, and that's just hard to get past. But I feel like if you're Gundy, you could be like, okay, Gundy, I know this isn't going to get better, and I may get booed out of the building, but it's just like go at least finish your last year out. But it just seemed like Jackson. Let me ask you this, Jackson. Do you think if they had let him finish the season, do you think it would have been worse?
Oh,
They would have
hell
been
yeah.
doing damage control.
I think it would have been. I think that's what they were afraid of. They saw signs of last season, and they were afraid it was going to continue this season.
And I mean, not hummus. A Trojan fight says it gets you sort of ahead of others on coaching hires versus some that may fire their coaches in December. Let me ask you this, Jackson. Who takes over this job? Who do they hire next?
Well, we're gonna find out. Let's see who's the interim coach. Oh, they hadn't said who's the
I
Doug
will say this.
Meacham. Doug Meacham, the
Mhm,
offensive coordinator, will be the interim head coach.
mhm. Yep. But Who do you think Oklahoma State goes after next, Jackson? Hires next? Who do you think's the next candidate?
Well, you're not going to get some big star. I don't think you're getting Alex Golish to leave South Florida for Oklahoma State. That's not happening. He leaves South Florida, it's going to be for a bigger place, in my opinion. But then again, Willie Fritz left Tulane for Houston, so anything can happen. Oh, John relax. He's not. No.
There and Trojan Fight says there's
He's
got to
he's
be at
fun to
least one big.
watch. He's fun to watch, but John Gruden in the college game in this era, how would he handle NIL? How would he handle recruiting? How would he handle, how would he handle everything in the world of college football in 2026 and beyond? That'd be my question there. Is that right? I like that idea. But does he want to leave the NFL? That's the question. That's going to be the question right there. But at the same time, the Falcons suck. So, I mean, they're just a complete disaster in the NFL.
I mean, here's the
No.
Steve. That's not funny. Steve, how dare you? Just for that, Steve, you're on the bad list. Jackson, we're shunning him. We're not talking to him. How dare you, Steve? And Trojan Fight says maybe the Florida guy is probably next, right? Napier, Fickle.
Yeah, Napier
Who would be after Fickle?
Has a last chance against Texas.
Babine says this show has a bad list. Yes, and Babine, you're on the good list. No, but in all seriousness, though,
I didn't know this was a Santa's list tonight, but anyway.
Well, Jackson's our show. We do what we want with it. If we want Jackson, we can throw streamers and confetti. But anywho, no, Jackson. I just thought of a name, but this would kind of be interesting. But what do you think about Cliff Kingsbury? Do you think he would come back to the
He's a
college
great
level?
offensive coordinator, but he's not a good head coach. I'll tell you a guy that Oklahoma State should go for. Montana State head coach Brett Vegan.
Yeah. I think. Oh, Eric Bieniemy?
Nah,
He's always wanted to be a head coach.
I'm not saying Eric Bieniemy as a coaching candidate for Oklahoma State. That's just not happening. Jeff Traylor at Texas San Antonio is a possibility. G.J. King at Texas State. Jeff Monken at Army. Here's one.
Yes. Go for it.
Andy Kotelnicki from Penn State.
Well, and like Trojan Fight said, no coordinators are safe. Any head coach hires are going to look to hire the best coordinators too. That's a good point, Jackson. That's the thing. Like Trojan Fight said, whoever is the next head coach, whoever's out there on the market, they're up there. I mean, Jackson, let me ask you something. Rodney Grubb, would he be interested in taking a job in Oklahoma State?
How dare you? Nah, but in all seriousness, though, I think he's waiting for a bigger job.
I know he's talked about it in the past. That's why I'm asking. He's always said he's wanted to coach his own team, but I just don't know if Oklahoma State
he'll
will be
coach his own team. I just don't see it being Oklahoma State.
Clint Moses says Will Muschamp.
No.
I got one more, Jackson. Gus Bradley. Might be a long shot, but he said he's always wanted to go back to coaching. Brian Callahan from the Titans, if he gets fired, he'd be good at the college level. And Trojan
Yeah,
Fight says,
yeah,
"Well,
Atlanta, I could see that.
he'll probably go to UCLA if he goes anywhere. Just go across town."
Troy Callahan's
Now,
not
Jack,
leaving Air Force. No.
Trojan Fight says Dion, LOL. No, I don't think he would go to Oklahoma State.
No.
He's gonna wait for the Alabama job or the Florida State job. He's gonna wait for one of them. He ain't going to Oklahoma
I
State.
I would have thought that, but his health. That's another thing. Like, I am not seeing Deion Sanders as a coaching candidate on account of the fact that he's like he's recovering from stomach cancer, and the fact they had like his toes amputated and all that, from surgery and
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, I don't know
Oh,
what else he's got health wise.
this is a good one from Steve. Jim Knowles. Jackson, he's kind of flying under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Allen, I bet he'll get a few calls.
Nah.
But to Clint Moses' question, more desirable: UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State.
None of them.
Depends on what you mean by desirable. If you mean by hospitality, probably Oklahoma
I mean,
State, Virginia
UCLA
Tech.
has the beach, but here's the thing, though. That's all you have to offer. Come on, like, you suck, UCLA. Virginia Tech offers nostalgia, but what's the plan for the future? Go wait and see. Oklahoma
Here's the
State,
thing.
what's going on with them?
Dave here says Virginia Tech is the job. Here's my thing, Jackson.
Yeah.
Even Hummus agrees. Yeah, I would say Virginia Tech. Oklahoma State for the history. I think, yeah, Trojan Fight. Don't forget about John Summerall Jackson. We forgot about him. He's
I
going
think
to be getting some calls.
Summerall is waiting for a bigger job.
Yeah, this is a good point, Thomas. I mean, UCLA is in theory, but the administration won't allow them to exceed. See, here's the thing, too, and UCLA doesn't have a good football fan base. I don't think they really care either. They're just kind of like, you go there for the hot babes and the good food. Other than
And
that, you could care
Margaritaville.
less. Yes. But, and I'll say this too, Jackson. These are all good candidates. But as far as Oklahoma State Mike Gundy goes, Jackson, was it time to get rid of Gundy? Maybe it was. Maybe he did overstay his welcome. But Jackson, if you're the AD, would you have made this move? I'm going to put you in the AD shoes. Would you have made this move?
Yeah, but I'd let him. I'd let him at least finish the season. But honestly, I just don't like where things are going for the University of Oklahoma State. They're not hot stuff like they think they are. But if they can get a good head coach, then okay. But right now, they're not going to get somebody that's good right away. It's just not happening.
And I've posted the call-in link in the chat. We are taking calls tonight, but keep it civil and keep it to one of these. And we could talk a little other things, but put in the call-in link if you'd like to call in. Be more than welcome to. Jackson will not bite you, as you can see. Jackson will not bite. He's chill. I won't either, but
but it is a great resume, I have to admit, from Oklahoma State.
Oh yes, Jackson.
Not everybody could have top-notch 10-win seasons at Oklahoma State like Mike Gundy did.
And here's the thing too, Jackson. whether we like to make fun of him and stuff, and people may remember him badly for these last couple years, but Jackson, look at that. That's a Hall of Fame resume. Dare I say, Jackson, is he a top 50 coach of all time? Would that be fair to say? If he does not coach anymore.
It's a possibility, but you got to consider the other historic coaches. I mean, like an honorable mention on the top 50, but Clint Moses makes an excellent point. Most important stat, Bedlam record.
Yep. I mean, here's the
I
thing,
just wonder
Jackson.
what's next for Mike Gundy. I mean, like I know his brother's saying, "Oh, well, yeah, he's still in the coaching," but I haven't heard Mike Gundy say anything. I want to know where he's going. I think he's going to start some podcast on Outkick. Honestly, that's what I think.
And 1-2's asking, when does Dabo get fired? Okay, Dabo's not going to get fired. Let's put that to bed now. Like, Jackson, we disagree on a lot of things, but listen, Dabo's not going to get fired. That's not going to happen. He will
No.
leave before that happens. Like Randy Anderson said, they are not firing Dabo. But go ahead though, Jackson, with what you were
But there you go. Like
gonna say.
we saw, and this was the theme from Brett McMurphy where he talked about Oklahoma State athletic director Chad Weberg saying that Gundy was not given the option to finish the season. And this was a long-term decision. I'm not worried about this week's game or the next 2 weeks. I'm worried about the next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Well, there is another thing that I keep thinking about. Like, because you got to remember, the athletic director for Oklahoma State was negotiating a contract extension. But the problem was, in order to reach his new deal, it was basically fire Mike Gundy or no contract extension, and you finish out the rest of the year and you're replaced by a new athletic director. So that's what I think went on. Oh, and the buyout was $15 million. I think I took the wrong contract. But honestly, it's we'll do. But yeah,
I mean,
it's like,
here's the thing.
but
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead,
like,
Jackson.
but
You're
yeah, the
good.
fact that the AD was like, for a moment, it felt like he was gonna be gone with Mike Gundy as well, because like he liked Mike Gundy.
Ooh,
But it was
Steve
like
suggesting Jimbo Fisher.
oh, yeah, there.
I mean, not to cut you off, but that Jimbo Fisher. Okay.
But if you like play,
Steve.
if you like players smoking dope 25 minutes for a kickoff, then that's your guy. Nah, but in all seriousness, Jimbo, I think he's waiting for something better than Oklahoma State. Oh Lord.
I know, right? Austin, are you recording with a potato? A potato? What do you mean with a potato? Jackson, explain that reference to me. Like it's lost. What do they
He's
mean?
messing with you, man.
Austin, are you recording with the potato? You lost me on that, Glenn. Anywho, like, and I will say this. Oh, I'm blurry. Okay, my bad. Okay, hold on. Let me fix it.
Oh man. 8K.
Jackson, 8K. Austin has to dial up the internet. Yeah, it happens every now and then. Yeah, it comes and goes sometimes, hummus. Hold on. Let me fixy. But yeah, anywho, I promise you I'm not recording with a potato. I hope not. Lord have mercy. Um, um, and 1-2 says, if you're a talented player, would you consider Oklahoma State? Of course not. What do you think, Jackson? Do you think Oklahoma State still has
No.
if who else? And Clint Moses says, who else gets fired? Who else gets fired in the Big 12 this year? Dave Aranda. That's
Unless they're collapsing, I don't see it.
I'm trying to think, Jackson. Does anyone else get fired, or is everyone else pretty much safe in the Big 12?
Satterfield if Cincinnati missed the bowl.
Yeah, Steve says Fickle's the next firing. He's Big 10. Here's the thing, though, Jackson.
I don't think you'll see firings. I think you'll see a retirement soon, like from Kyle Whittingham. But that's like the next big exit you're going to see from the Big 12. But Utah has a plan in place. Oh wow, that's a bold prediction, B-Bean. If that doesn't go through, if your prediction doesn't go through, then Freezing Cold Tates is going to roast you, man.
I mean, here's the thing, Jackson. Out of those three teams, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, who's more likely to get it together quicker? Probably Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Okay. And Hummus Hero says Fickle and Satterfield both get fired, and Fick heads back to UC. That's interesting. And before we bring on our caller, Jackson, just to mess with him, maybe PJ Fleck gets fired. No, I'm just kidding. He might though. I don't know. We've been saying that for 5 years. But I will say this, Jackson. It's our good friend, our wonderful friend from the Great Lakes of Minnesota, Dave. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Austin? How are you, Jackson?
Doing all right, good buddy. How you been, man?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40. Big just a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love Coach Gundy.
Here's my question for you guys, and I'll make it kind of simple. What's a better job, Wisconsin or Oklahoma State?
Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Dave
I'll say
made
Wisconsin,
it easy.
but slightly.
Wisconsin
by a slight hand.
Yeah, I'll say basically the same thing. Only because is Barry Elbris still the AD?
I don't think so.
If she's not the AD, then I don't know what the job is anymore at Wisconsin. I mean,
Chris McIntosh is the athletic director.
McIntosh from the computers?
No. No. But yeah, Barry Alvarez is sitting somewhere watching Gunsmoke on MeTV.
Yeah, probably waiting for that one day he gets to coach one more time at Wisconsin for some crappy bowl game if they get to go to a bowl game after the firing, or maybe he might be the intern head coach for like Wisconsin for like a while if this keeps up with Fickle. I wouldn't be surprised. They've done it before. They've done it twice, I think. When Anderson left, what?
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Ask away.
I was just gonna ask Dave, What do you think's the better job? Virginia Tech, UCLA, or Oklahoma State? If you were going to go somewhere as a player, what would be the better job for you? Or if you were going to go be a coach, where would you
Virginia
want to go?
Tech. What was Virginia Tech? What was it? Oklahoma State and who else?
UCLA.
UCLA.
Well, not UCLA.
That's a crap hole.
Yeah, the UCLA does not give a shit about football. They
No,
just don't. That they can care less.
it's hell.
Now it will be between Oklahoma State and Virginia Tech. It's literally a toss up of a quarter on that because I think both programs have had good years, and then both programs have had really shitty years. And if I had to pick between one or the other, I would just say Virginia Tech, just because it's a little bit more competitive in the ACC than it is in the Big 12, but not by much. Actually, I don't even know if I think they're pretty much almost dead even.
I mean, here's the thing with UCLA. Like, I think it's because they're basketball first. If they get their priorities and do what Kansas and Duke did and invest in some football game, they could be in a desirable job for coaches. I mean, that's the problem. They don't want to invest in football. They just don't want to do it. They refuse to do
No.
it for whatever reason. I don't know why, but if they do, they would be a dual program like Kansas, like Duke, like Clemson, like Iowa. They would have both of it going, but they just don't care. They're just like, all we care about is making the Final Four in basketball. That's it.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But the other thing I also thought about with like Oklahoma State is if you're going to hire somebody, I want to make sure that you hire a coach that can seal off Oklahoma. That your only competition for kids is Oklahoma, to your Oklahoma State. And maybe try to get those Texas kids too. That's the other thing. So I would try to look around for coaches around Texas area, see what this Rice coach can do. Maybe if he has a good year at Rice, even if he has just takes Rice to a bowl game, I would consider him.
I mean, and like you said though, Dave, that's important when you get a coach is you gotta understand the battleground states when you're recruiting because like they mentioned in the chat earlier, is Oklahoma State still a desirable place for kids to want to go? I still think 4 stars will still want to go there. I don't know about 5 stars anymore, but I still think there's kids that want to play for Oklahoma State. But I just feel like you said, they need to control the battleground and they need to be able to win the battleground states, and they need to be able to have a culture and have the locker room. They can't lose the locker room after 3 games like Deshaun Foster did and Brent Prom, so to speak.
Yeah, Oklahoma State is right now in a conference that anybody can beat up anybody. It's very easy to turn it around. Like I said, even Virginia Tech is the same thing. It's very easy to turn it around probably over there because the conferences are just not all that they're very equal to each other. The ACC and the Big 12 are not that much of a difference anymore.
And I mean, here's the thing too, Dave. When you look at it, and I've even had talks with Jackson about this and some other people, you have to look at, okay, do I want to go play in the ACC or do I want to go play in the Big 12? In the Big 12, it's a conference of you never know who's going to win. You throw a dartboard at it. Whereas the ACC, the 3 best teams consistently every year are Florida State, Miami, Clemson, and maybe SMU. And then you got to have your hodgepodges in the middle, your Louisville's, your BCs, your Syracuses. Whereas the Big 12, if I go to Oklahoma State, yes, Georgia Tech. Whereas I go to the Big 12, I can compete. It could be my year if I go to Oklahoma State. I could be the one piece to get them over the edge, so to speak. Whereas if you go to the Big 10 SEC, it's kind of like, who the dominant dogs are. And if you go to the bottom tier schools, you just hope to go to a bowl game. I mean, every player wants to win a natty, but everyone has to have reality, so to speak. When people go to Minnesota, Dave, they want 8, 9 wins and a win over Iowa and Wisconsin, and then they're
Yep,
happy.
exactly.
If you're a player,
That is the bare minimum right there. That's what we want to constantly happen almost every year. I would like to see a little bit more wins, but I'm not right now at picky with my program right now. I mean, we're not that much different than Iowa right now. And we're not that even that we're better off than Wisconsin. I've never thought I would ever say that in my life, that Minnesota's program's right now better than Wisconsin's.
I mean, they were like better off than Wisconsin in like 1935, 1934, and like 1967, no doubt.
Yeah,
But
once Barry Alvarez came the coach of Wisconsin, that was it. He just changed the whole entire culture at Wisconsin. And he was Barry Alvarez. He's an interesting guy because he was Lou Holtz's assistant coach. I think he was the defensive coordinator.
yep.
And I mean, here's the thing too. What I want to add to that, Dave, is when you talk about looking at coaching candidates, how do you find a happy medium in a coach? What I mean by that is he's not too defensive heavy, but he's not too offensive heavy. How do you find the guy that's kind of in the middle? He could specialize in both if he needed to. I know that's a very rare breed, but do you think that's still out there? And if it is, do you think an Oklahoma State or somebody should go grab him?
Like I said, like the biggest thing that I would look for if I'm Oklahoma State is, does he know the area? Can he recruit? Can he get kids to come to was it Stillwater, Oklahoma?
Stillwater.
Yeah. And then is he going to be able to maybe just get that kid from California, that kid from Florida, those types of kids too? Because those kids are also really big. Even the kids that are probably like a 3-star or 2-star kids, you can still build those kids up. Is he going to be able to do that too? Is he going to be able to build those 2-star, 3-star recruits that are maybe coming from like out of state, and then have them be a lot better? I mean, that's what Coach Kill did too, and that's what even PJ is doing right now. I would say PJ is getting more better kids. PJ has a different situation. I take that back, because PJ is a different situation with the portal, where Coach Kill did not have the portal, and unfortunately with Coach Kill, he did not also have the health to keep up with this.
That's another thing too. When it comes to that, is adding depth to your roster. The next coach is also not only going to have to go in the portal, but also going to have to use the depth as well. Can you fill your roster up with depth? Because that's the biggest thing. It's a war of attrition. I mean, like you said. So the next coach needs to be able to tell his guys, be a good motivator, is what would be the best way to describe it. Be like, hey, you might be the third guy on the bench, but we may need you because these last couple of years at safety, we've got depleted. Kind of like Rutgers, they get hit with the injury bug. So I'm sure Shiano, when he goes recruits or he goes in the portal, he's like, hey, there's a good chance you're still going to play, even though you'll be probably 4th on our depth chart. Or Minnesota, when they have the big injury years, because you all have had a couple here recently, and PJ's had to go to his bench.
Yeah, and the one thing I never really worry about with Minnesota is running back and safety. Those are the strong positions that we have always done really well recruiting since PJ's been here. Our 4th-string guy is really, really good too. He's just a freshman.
And that's the thing too, Dave. Whatever the coach takes this job, they're going to have to be good at filling the depth of their roster out and getting their roster. And here's the good thing about this is they'll have a full off season to do it. It's not one of them Dion situations or DeBoer, where they didn't have time to do their rosters. They'll have a full off season to do their roster how they want it, how they like it, and can kind of build from there. That's what I like about this. At least it gives the next head coach a fighting chance to be like, okay, if y'all want to leave because you're Gundy's kids, be my guest. and then I can bring in my people, whoever that may be, whoever the next head coach may be.
That's exactly what the next coach will have to do, because Gundy's kids are going to be gone. They have to like try to at least get convince how many players they can stay, and then out of that, you're going to have to like go to the transfer portal as much as you possibly can, and you're going to be picking off kids from like the Sun Belt Conference, Conference USA, the MAC, to try to fill up the rest of your roster.
And then go into the portal and kind of go picking, I guess you would call it the leftovers, because of course the Bamas, the Georgias, the Penn States are going to pick up all the big ones. You kind of come in and get the leftovers of, okay,
Yeah,
here's
and yeah, that's like it goes that way too with the portal, because you always get that maybe that 4-string kid that's getting near the end and he's playing for like Bama and he still hasn't gone up. He's just gonna leave. What's the whole point of him staying, for him just to say, oh, I played at Bama but had no freaking playing time because everybody else was like just slightly better than I was.
And that's the thing too, Dave, that's interesting. Let me ask you something about Coach Gundy. Looking at his resume, where would you rank him as a coach all time? Is he top 50? Or is he at least top 100? Let's make it broader. Is he top 100?
Definitely top 100, just because he coached at Oklahoma State for so many years. But he still had winning records there. He's like Kirk Ferentz. Like, not in a really well-known program, but still winning as much as he possibly can, getting the best out of his players that he can. And that's the way I look at it.
Because that's the thing too, Dave, that people look at that and say, okay, he's won these games. He has all these 10-win seasons. He's had these major bowl wins. The only thing, and he's won the Big 12. The only thing is he doesn't have a national championship, but he has a New Year's Six bowl under his belt. He has everything you would want in a Hall of Fame coach resume, just not a natty.
Okay.
I think that.
Yeah, hey guys, I have to get going right now. I'm sorry, but I'll have to talk to you guys later. Okay.
All right, man.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Great chatting with you, Dave. And that was Minnesota Dave on the line with us. And calling link is in the chat. So if you want to come on in, everybody.
Yes. If the link is in the chat, if y'all want to come on in and talk, we'll be on for a couple more minutes. But Jackson, 2 breaking news segments today, and here's the thing too, Jackson. With Oklahoma State, Jackson, let's look at the rest of their schedule. While we're talking about this, can Oklahoma State go ahead and laugh? Oh, never mind. Okay. No, I won't laugh, B-Bean. That's a real thing. Looking at Oklahoma State's schedule, Jackson, can Oklahoma State salvage their season? I know it may look bad, but
it would be a hell of a story if it happened, but I'm just not seeing it.
Okay, so they got Baylor on Saturday at 3. It's at home. Then they got at Arizona, Houston, Cincinnati, at Texas Tech, Kansas at Kansas. Then they got a bye. Then they got Kansas State. They might win that game. At UCF, Iowa State. Jackson, look at the schedule. Do you think they can get 5 wins?
No.
Or is that asking too much?
That's asking a lot. I think Baylor's going to snap them in 2.
Okay.
I said so on Locked On West Virginia when I was on with Mountaineer Paul earlier today. Kansas is going to make life miserable for them. Texas Tech's going to get violent with them. Houston is going to have their way a little bit with Oklahoma State. Cincinnati, maybe that's
It's
a
a toss
win.
up.
Kansas State,
Kansas,
maybe, but
maybe it's in Stillwater. Yeah.
I
UCF,
don't vote for this team.
UCF could be a toss up. I know it's at UCF, but I feel like I know it's a different UCF, but Jackson, if they're playing for Big 12 title implications, they could get hyped up and become a favorite, and it could backfire on them. Yeah, Jackson, maybe 5 wins. How about 4? Can you see 4 wins? I'm trying to find a positive here for Oklahoma State fans. Don't want to be Mr. Negative. Give them something to build on going forward.
Just cut the cord on 2025. That's what I say. Focus on 2026 and beyond. Focus on the rest of the 2020s decade.
With Jackson, they still have to play all these football games. They can't just say.
Does that look like a playoff team to you? Like a team getting ass blasted by Oregon and losing to Tulsa?
I
Like
didn't say a playoff. Listen, Jackson. I know. I know. You may not be able to see me, but I didn't say playoff team. Did anybody hear me say playoff team?
No.
I said maybe 5 wins. Just.
I don't see them getting the 5 win. I like their chances with Miss Kitty and the Long Branch more than I do seeing them get the 5 wins.
Oh my gosh. Well, Jackson, you know Miss Kitty's gone, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they can't go into the black and white world. They can't go into the Marshall Dillon world. That's not happening.
One dude says Oklahoma State could forfeit all remaining games. I don't think so, unless they just don't have a team. But more likely,
they're not forfeiting. They're not forfeiting their games because of a couple guys talking at midnight Central Time, 1 a.m. Eastern Time. They're not sitting there thinking about. They're not sitting there thinking about what we're saying.
Our opinion's irrelevant. Our opinion's irrelevant. They don't care what we say. To them, we're in our mom's basement eating Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
We're in our mom's basement eating Hot Pockets and watching girls do girl things or something, whatever they like to call them.
Oh God.
So
5-minute quarters in the
will they apply the mercy rule to 5?
If it's a 60-point beatdown like it was against Oregon, then yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. But
I forget how the rest of that song went, but it was funny.
But that's too funny. I will say this though, Jackson. I mean, listen. The positive thing for Oklahoma State is Mike Gundy had a legendary career, one of the greatest coaches in Oklahoma State history. And 1-2's asking, what is the spread in their next game?
Oh man, it was 20.5 when I was on with Mountaineer Paul earlier today. So that was 3 hours before Mike Gundy got fired, as a matter of fact. Well, 20.5 still. Baylor is the 20.5 favorite.
Maybe Vegas knows something we don't, Jack.
Well, yeah, Vegas. Well, yeah. Even the secretary knows how bad Oklahoma State is.
Jackson, you want to know something? I'm not going to spoil for tomorrow night for picks and analysis tomorrow night. But you know what? Oklahoma State might win against Baylor just because that's what they would do. Just to screw with us. Be like, oh,
if they do, then it really puts Dave Aranda back on the hot seat. We'll be talking about another hot. Oh my God.
We'll be having to do another breaking news stream
That's
about Dave
fine.
Aranda.
That's
Oh,
fine because like we're bringing the content to the people. That's all of you, ladies and gentlemen, all of you.
but Jackson, yes, I love the people, even though they called me my recorder or whatever it was a potato earlier. But I still love the people. But um, but if we're having to go live over Dave Aranda, we're in trouble. And 1-2 said that would be hilarious if the players intentionally lose to Tulsa just to get a new coach and actually have talent. Yeah, a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah.
I could see that. But with that being said, though, the call-in link is in the chat. If anyone would like to call in, last call for that. If anyone would like to call in, it's Austin on the hot seat.
No.
Oh, are you gonna fire me, Jackson?
No.
Hey, if you do, Jackson, I'll be like Jimbo Fisher. Give me my 15. Give me my 60 million. Give me my 60 million, and I'll get me a nice steak platter with some mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, and a cigar in the hot tub. And I'll be, they'll be like, "What'd you do today?"
Nothing here.
Nothing here. Dave's here. Says Wisconsin's next game is Michigan. Can they stop the run?
No.
You know what? I'll be like Jackson. No. Which I'm still curious, but why would I be on the hot seat? What have I done to cost Jackson a win? Normally you get on the hot seat because you lose to crappy teams. Has Jackson lost to a crappy team that he needs to fire me that I don't know about? I'm just saying, Jackson. Hey, Jackson. I heard the Florida job's coming open. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the Florida job. But Bean, don't you worry. I'll take care of your mighty Gators. And 1-2's asking, have you guys played? Which is fine. He said, have you guys played the ESPN All-State Playoff Predictor? Yes, I do it yearly just to mess with things. I'll predict the team to lose 3 games that I know they won't lose just to see. I do it with Jackson's team all the time. I'll be like, what if Bama loses this game? And just to mess with people. And then I do it with the NFL too. But yeah, in all seriousness though, 1-2 says it's updated now. Okay, I'll have to mess with that later on. But Jackson, I will say this though. Oklahoma, we'll see what their future holds. And Oklahoma State. Both Oklahoma teams had a rough blow today. One lost a legendary head coach, and one lost their quarterback possibly for however long, up to 6 weeks.
But Oklahoma's future is way better than Oklahoma State's, unfortunately, for those in Stillwater. Oh, we'll be getting that tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night will be. How about this weekend's big game?
Don't you worry, we're leaving you wanting for more.
Yes, but Bean, this was just our breaking news segment. And 1-2 says, how many more FBS coaches get canned this season?
At least 5 more.
Let's see. You got Fickle, Aranda, Satterfield. Who else, Jackson, could get
Napier?
canned?
You're leaving out Napier.
Does Shane Beamer get canned?
Is going to hell.
Jackson, is there a world where Shane Beamer gets canned?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. The Bean says, "Come on, Austin Napier." Well, I'm sorry, but Bean, I'm being hopeful for Florida. I hope they win 6 games and keep Napier.
It's the same as Bean hoping that he would, that Napier would hire an actual play caller for offensive coordinator, but they didn't. But instead, they got defensive players spitting out the hot Tua on opponents, causing them to lose.
Oh, no worries, Dave.
I'm
It is
sorry
all
about that.
good.
It's just I am never gonna let go of Brandon Betts spitting on that South Florida player. I'm just not.
But you got to let it go, though, Jackson.
I
You
can't.
can't
It's hard.
always be worried about the hop Tua. Oh gosh, I
As
never
long
thought
as
I
they're
would say that, but
losing,
okay.
as long as Florida's losing, I am going to be bringing up that moment. I just am.
Lord have mercy. 1-2 says this weekend is big. You need 2 shows. Jackson, do not forget the Gators shoe throw.
Oh, I can't. It's hard not to because I mean that was what changed the entire 2020 season for Florida. Had their guy not done the shoe throw, they wouldn't have lost LSU. They wouldn't have lost a mediocre LSU team.
But I will say, Jackson, are you done picking on poor Florida? Like, leave the poor Gators alone. Like, Jackson, they're already wounded. Like the poor Gators. I mean,
A
is
complete
Florida the
and
worst
total
disappointment?
one, too. They have been a complete and total disappointment.
Jackson, Florida's got competition. Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson was a top 5 team to enter the
We should have both of them play
entering
each
week
other
1.
if we can help it. We need Florida and Clemson playing.
Why would you want to do that? Jackson, why would you want to do that to the masses? Who does that help?
Us, me, the chat.
Who would win, Oklahoma State or Florida? I think Florida would win.
Florida by a hair. Unless Brandon Betts spits on the Oklahoma State quarterback.
I would say Florida by 3 touchdowns. B Bean says my natty pick was Ohio State over Clemson. Oops. Yeah, but Bean, that's a bad beat. Yikes. Mine was Penn State over LSU. Jackson takes here in a minute. Did you hear that, Jackson? I picked Penn State over LSU.
LSU? Oh my God. Like Penn State. I'm telling you, you're gonna be disappointed by Penn State, man.
Jackson, my national championship is LSU and Penn State.
I hope you're right about Penn State for your sake. Goodbye. I hope for your sake. I'll agree one too. Jackson. I think LSU can be a better judge of who's worse between Clemson and Florida, but still though, it's oof.
But Bean says Oregon about to stomp on Penn State. Listen, I ain't gonna spoil it, but you do realize it's a whiteout, right, guys? Penn State does not lose very many games in the whiteout. And Drew Aller, ladies and gentlemen, is going to announce his presence to the world. A little spoiler for tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm going to have fun talking about this game. I'm going to have fun talking about this game on Pitts Analysis with you, goodbye.
But I will say this, though, Jackson. Who is your national championship pick? And then we'll get out of here.
Oh, man.
Since everyone else, who was yours?
Well, I actually had Oregon win it all.
Who'd you have them beaten? Don't say Clemson.
No. I actually thought.
Did you beat Bama?
No, I had Bama going to the semifinals. I actually had. Let me see. So I had, it's going to take me a little bit. Remember, I had him playing Texas for the Natty.
Ooh, okay, that's not a bad pick. A lot of
We know
people
some friends
pick
that are
Texas
gonna
to win it,
love
though.
the fact that I picked Oregon to win it all.
I mean, here's the thing, Jackson. I don't think any of us really picked a bad team to win it. You picked Oregon, I picked Penn State, but Bean said he just picked Ohio State. So we're all of our picks to win it are still alive, and I don't think we made that bad of picks. And yeah, this is what makes it worse, Jackson. This right here, that right there, which we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But that's what makes it worse. Oh, 1-2 said he had Miami, Georgia.
Georgia is
In the-
not going to win a playoff game as long as they have Mike Bobo as their offensive coordinator. And if they do win a playoff, they're certainly not going to a natty, and they're not going to win it all. That's just not going to happen. I mean, Mike Bobo.
Jackson, what is it with you and Mike Bobo?
He
I ain't never
sucks.
had.
He sucks. That's what it is. He's a bad play caller, man. He's a disaster. He's hell.
Oh, tomorrow.
But that's good for us. That's good for Bama. So I mean, it's like, what am I venting about? It's like, good grief, that helps Bama.
Jackson, if anything, if you play Bama, you should. I mean, not play Bama. Where's my words tonight? Georgia, you should be rooting for Mike Bobo. You should be like, woo, go Bobo. Trojan Fights is, I think, Ohio State again versus, let's say, Penn State. Calling it, you heard it first.
Oh God.
Oh boy. And there was one question that I forgot that was asked in the chat, and then we'll leave with this. About the annual SEC rivalries. Here we go. Trojan Fight had asked earlier. He said, "What are you guys making the SEC permanent rivals? I feel like they weakened opponents."
Well, it's because of the fact
LSU.
Alabama and Mississippi State are the closest to one another geographically. And they have way more history of Mississippi State. I know it sounds weird, but they actually do have history of one another. Alabama LSU, it just gets talked about in the 21st century. You ask anybody about the games that happened between 1964 and 1999, nobody's talking about that. Alabama LSU has that same feel of Tennessee, Florida from the 1990s. Everybody could not shut up about Tennessee, Florida. They could not shut up about 1998, where Sean McDonough was throwing out his puberty voice over Florida missing a field goal and Tennessee winning in 1998.
And 1-2 says, I have the season stats ready for the pick show. This is a huge week. 1-2, God bless your soul that you're keeping track of mine and Jackson's picks. You did not have to do that. That should be mine and Jackson's job, but we're not doing a very good job of it. But yeah. God bless you for doing that. You're a saint, 1-2. And who's currently winning, me or Jackson? Out of curiosity. We lost track. We need to do better.
Might be you, to be honest.
I think it's probably you, Jackson, because I went with my heart a couple times and it's backfired. But Bean ain't buying it, Jackson. He ain't buying your BS. He says Jackson.
About Mississippi State. Well, I mean, yeah. Nobody really talked about Alabama LSU prior to Nick Saban coaching at both schools, honestly.
Oh, Steve says I have receipts as well. Let me guess, Steve. Are you keeping track of our picks too? God, anybody that's keeping track of our picks, God bless you. But like I said, we need to do better at that. Me and Jackson, I will take accountability. We need to do better at that, keeping picks, because the people want to know. So, but
so we have.
But go ahead, Jack.
Go away, Chucky Doll. Go away, Chucky Doll. I mean, Austin will punch your ass out of there.
Oh, Chucky's back.
Yeah, he's got the Fanta drink. Yeah, Austin's gonna punch you out. Like, I've seen that man punt. You know, it's like, yeah, he'll just be like, "Give me the boy," and I'll let you. And then it's like, it's good.
And Jackson, I do want to say we have nearly 100 people in here, 96 currently. You all could be anywhere in the world. You could be at the club, you could be out eating dinner, but you chose to be here with us tonight. And to you 96 beautiful people, we appreciate you. Even if we are recording through a potato, you're still here to hear and listen to us. And there's currently, Jackson, 88 people currently on your Twitter as well, or X, whatever you like to call it. For those people on Twitter/X, and I know some people love it, but if you do like a good YouTube experience, come on over here to both of our channels. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, so you never miss another video or a breaking live stream, or miss us punting dogs across the room, or punting whatever Jackson is throwing me into.
Well, punt and Chucky doll. It's like Chucky.
Yes, but
so anyway.
but
Anyway, so we've got the list of the annual opponents. Oh, thank you, Steve. We appreciate it, man.
oh,
but yeah,
that's a great honor thing.
But like you've heard me a million times ever since we've met, where I was like, Auburn and Tennessee are must keeps for Alabama. I don't care who they put in that third opponent. It's like LSU's in there, cool, whatever. Mississippi State's in there, cool, whatever. Ole Miss in there, cool, whatever. But that's my opinion. And, if you want more on my take on that, you can check out Monday's edition of Crimson Tide Live, where Coach Smoot, Jeffrey, and I talked a little bit about. Coach Smoot was for Alabama LSU being an annual battle. Jeffrey was like, he really didn't care whether they kept LSU or if they had Mississippi State on there. Me, I was in favor of having Mississippi State on there because, like, I have been on the record saying that's who I want. Like, I want Mississippi State or Ole Miss being one of our annual opponents for Alabama.
Here's the thing, Jackson, with Bama here. I agree Auburn, Tennessee, excuse me, should be on the schedule every year. I'm with y'all. I would rather have LSU because, Jackson, I think that game 99.9% of the time will be more important than Mississippi State. And there's no disrespect to Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State. I had friends that go to college there now that I went to high school with. So I have no problem with them. But it's just like, is Mississippi State and Bama really going to be that important of a game that it needs to be played in a 4-year span every year? I get, Jackson, you talk about the history, but I feel like if you want to get a casual viewer's eye, it would be LSU Bama because it's perennial 2 top 10 teams, national championship level teams playing for possibly a playoff spot almost every year.
100% for sure. But I think we'll wait and see about this. But this will get reevaluated every 4 years. So it's not, they're not saying, oh, Mississippi State's on there forever. No. This is for 4 years. So no worries there. So if you're wanting Alabama, LSU, you might get your wish by 2029. Be like, you know what? We're going to put it back on there. Arkansas, I've got the question for them. Because like Texas, I like that is on there. I like that Missouri's on there, LSU's on there, but I wish they would have just added like Texas A&M on there. But it's like you only had to pick 3, which that sucks, but it is what it is. But I think honestly they're gonna go back to having Arkansas, like the 2026 schedule announcement. Like we know who's playing who for 2026. But we don't know when, who's playing when. I think they're going to have Arkansas LSU on rivalry week like they used to from 1992 to 2013. I think they're going to go back to having LSU Arkansas rivalry week. I think there's a little bit of 90s nostalgia for LSU Arkansas. Arkansas, Missouri, they're they're not going to put it on rivalry week next year, but they will have that game in November, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Now,
Here's the thing, real quick, Jackson. And which is funny to point out this, but LSU, Bama, and of course these other rivalry games that you see doesn't mean they won't be played next year or the year after that. It just means they're not locked in, so to speak, right? For anyone that's confusing, that Alabama and LSU could still play in 2 years from now, in 2027. It doesn't mean LSU's gone from the schedule. They could still put that on.
But
Right,
I will
Jackson?
say, you'll love this. Alabama LSU will be played 2026, but it's going to be off in 2027, but it's going to be back in 2028.
Okay, good. So it's just a 1 year where it's not played. Because I like Bama LSU. Travis Poole says the SEC keeps getting weaker. They will be the new Pac-12 soon. Oh no, traveling fools. Oh, you're gonna get you're gonna summon the real in here, and then it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong, traveling fools. I get it.
We'll never,
You're
we'll
right.
never go bad if that happens. But
me and Jackson are just gonna be like, "You've done it now, TF." If the real calls in here in a minute, TF's done it, Jackson. He's done it.
Yeah,
but
in all seriousness, though, hey, what's up, Talking Mayhem? How you doing tonight, good buddy?
What's up? What's up? Jackson being pointed out earlier, someone did, about the Kentucky-Florida being a permanent opponent. Listen, I know for the longest time Florida dominated that rivalry. It's actually become a fun game to watch again, to be honest with you, just to see who screws it up the worst.
Oh man. So Auburn Vanderbilt, I don't get it. Like I wish they have Florida on there instead, but oh well. That's I didn't get that. But I think Auburn didn't really care. But we'll see what happens for the next four. But I am glad to see Auburn, Florida back in 2026. Florida, they're just putting anybody in there at this point, like Kentucky, South Carolina. But Florida, Georgia annually makes more than perfect sense. Georgia, this absolutely makes perfect sense.
Real fast, not to cut you off. Georgia and Kentucky, I understand, but South Carolina, what do they have in Florida? Explain that to me. Like, am I missing something in that rivalry, or is that just one of them?
They're just adding stuff. They're just getting everything organized.
Okay.
Honestly,
because I'm trying to think. I'm like, I know they played each other, but is that really a rivalry? Because this is supposed to be rivals, so to speak. But go ahead.
I mean, they're just putting annual opponents on there, really. I do like what they did with LSU, and like Georgia, LSU. I like what they did because, like LSU, they got Arkansas, they got Ole Miss, and they got Texas A&M.
Ooh, this is interesting. Bean has an unpopular opinion. If you win five straight, you're no longer a rival. I can see your point on that, Bean. But here's the thing. I'm kind of on the fence. How do you win those 5 games? Are they all in tight fashion, or are they all blowouts? If they're all blowouts, then okay, I could see where you're just playing.
I think it just means if you win 5 straight in general, honestly.
Okay. But Bean says Austin forgot Spurrier, South Carolina versus old Gator team. I did not, Bean. I did not forget that. But I didn't know that was really a thing that was just bad blood. I thought he just liked both teams. Teams he had, and it's just one of them, the coach returning. That was my bad, Bean.
And Lee Corso was right when he said Steve Spurrier was never going to win an SEC title at South Carolina in 2005. He was dead right about it.
Okay.
But LSU,
Um,
but yeah, like Kentucky, they just put anybody for Kentucky. Like they got it right with Texas. I will say that. They got it right with Texas.
1-2 says, which team has the easiest annual rival schedule? Looking at this,
Tennessee.
ooh,
I say Tennessee.
I'm kind of thinking. Hold on, Jackson. Scroll back down, please, if you would. Since you're in control here. Vanderbilt. They got Mississippi State and Auburn. Auburn's hit and miss. Vandy.
We don't know what Vandy looks
Who do you
like
think's got
after this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who I think?
Who do you think's got the best one?
Tennessee. Tennessee's got easy, but I think the best one for me, I'm gonna say because I mean I really like Texas and Florida and LSU setup because they got it perfect. So I'm gonna say Georgia. By like I'm leaning towards Georgia.
I'm gonna say Alabama.
Okay.
Travel Full says Tennessee has the easiest. Best team they have to play is Vandy. Oh wow. TF coming in here making waves tonight. He's like the tsunami tonight, Jackson. He's trying to make waves.
And we're all for it, ladies and gentlemen. Missouri, Arkansas, I feel like that's gonna be on rivalry week for the next 4 years because I do not see LSU Oklahoma. Like Oklahoma is not on that schedule, and LSU is not on the schedule for. We're not seeing LSU Oklahoma for 2026, but we are going to go back to seeing LSU Oklahoma for 2027. We're not going to see LSU Oklahoma for 2028, but we're seeing it for 2029. So I think we're seeing Oklahoma, Missouri on rivalry week.
I mean, here's the thing, Jackson. I mean, with these annual opponents / rivals, some of them are kind of just the thrown together just to say they have them, right? And then you got your classics, your Georgia Auburns, your Bama Tennessees, your Oklahoma Texases, but like Oklahoma Ole Miss, Jackson, that just felt like here, Oklahoma play Ole Miss. You don't play Lane Kiffin that much. Here.
I didn't understand that. It's like, why not have Oklahoma play Arkansas like on an annual base? Like, you know, it's like that makes perfect sense.
And here's the thing too. And 1-2 says the SEC has a mini Big 12 conference inside. And Trojan Fight says I'm sticking by this. They made schedules easier on purpose for the better teams. But they do that for almost every conference. That's the thing. Like if you're one of the better teams of the upper echelon, they're going to give you more of the cream puffs within your conference because they know you're going to make the playoffs. Like it's just one of them. And Babine says starting in 2026, an SEC team will play every other SEC team at least once every 2 years. Which, and another important factor to this, Jackson, is everyone complains about the SEC playing cupcakes, right? Well, Greg Sankey made it. You not only will play your annual games, but you have to play one Power 4 conference opponent, and it has to be someone legitimate too. So Bama can't go out and schedule Tulane and say, not Tulane, go out and schedule Cincinnati and say we scheduled somebody. It has to be someone close to or equal to your level, which good on Sankey for doing that. So Jackson, you know what that means. We might get Bama and Ohio State more often, or we might get LSU and Clemson some more. We might get Who's another good one? Oh, we could get Bama, Miami, Jackson. What do you think about that?
Sounds good to me. So
And
we've got
Babine says,
the
yep,
opponent reveals for each of the teams. This who Alabama's got for 2026 through 2029. These are the home and away games. Like, notice as you see Auburn, Mississippi State, Tennessee are the annual opponents. This is what these are the other sets opponents, like what they're going to look like for the next 4 years. Like this who's going to be playing home and road.
I mean, Jackson, this is just the SEC opponent. And like Babine's pointing out here, Georgia, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Clemson, Florida, FSU, those rivalries will still be played because they're still on the level. But Bama has to schedule somebody. They can't be scheduling Austin P or any of that.
I
Bama
feel like
has to
that
not
game's
schedule
still going to happen, unfortunately. But it's just like,
I know.
but
Bama can't just schedule cream puffs. They can't take the Indiana approach.
well, yeah, it's like why is everybody calling us? Like we're not doing like three group of 5 opponents every year, but like we're not doing like 4
Well,
group
Jackson,
5.
I think what it is Jackson is because of where you schedule them at is the biggest gripe with Bama. It's you schedule them before LSU or before Auburn, and people are like, that's why they get on you all, Jackson. It's not because not because you schedule them, it's where you schedule them, or you schedule them after a bye week. And they're like, really, Bama? And Saban did that on purpose.
Yeah. And we've got like Arkansas, so we're seeing that this is basically the sets of punchers.
He said the biggest thing I want to see is, will the November cupcakes go away?
I don't think it will, unfortunately.
I think it'll be a front-loaded week. Like the first 3 weeks of the season will be front-loaded. We'll get Georgia, Miami. We'll get LSU, Clemson. We'll get Bama, Florida State, and we'll get all of them like in the first 3 weeks of the season. We'll still have Cupcake Week in the back half, unfortunately.
There you go. Well, we're going to have a little Auburn, Texas 2027 and 2029.
And I will say this too, though, Jackson. Do you think the Big Ten will eventually adopt that, where they will say, okay, the ACC, SEC, and now Big Ten, you need to get along with the program?
Oh, yeah.
There's Florida's. 1-2 says, give the people what they want. More cross P4 matchups in season.
Yep.
That's true. We'll see.
I think you have to get to a point where we decide if you want to do like a 13-game regular season or not. And then we got Georgia. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And then there's
coming in with the SEC.
Can't spell
Slater. Go ahead.
Funny. Well, Kentucky. Oh, they're going to get smacked by everybody.
I mean, here's the thing, Jackson. I mean, who knows, Jackson, with Kentucky? They're one of the teams, they can go 9-3 1 year, and then 1 year they can go 6-6. Jeez. That's the kind of team they are, Stu. There's LSU.
LSU.
Here we go again.
No LSU Florida starting in 2026. That'll be the first time since 1970. And Alabama LSU won't be played for the first time since 1963 in 2027.
1-2 says if the Big Big Ten did the annual rivalries thing, it would look pathetic. Unless you're the bigger teams. You
I
like Penn
doubt
State, Jackson.
they're
Penn State.
unrivaled.
Yeah, I was about to say Penn State's might look a little pathetic, but
Well,
because
they
they
are.
have no rival.
Yeah, well, they do. They're just avoiding it. They say Pitt. They say Pitt's not the route, but it is. But whatever. Ole Miss. Oh man, that's gonna be fun seeing Ole Miss Tennessee 2027.
Lord have mercy.
That'll be a rock fight.
Lord have mercy.
Mississippi State's annual opponents, non-annual opponents, and you got Missouri. I think Missouri, Oklahoma's gonna be on rivalry week, y'all. What do y'all think?
Probably because Oklahoma doesn't have a rivalry week opponent.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no way they're playing Texas, Oklahoma on rivalry. That's not happening. Texas, Oklahoma is supposed to be in October, like it's supposed to be.
The classic Penn State, UCLA, Minnesota, Northwestern rivalry. Oh my gosh! If UCLA is considered a Penn State rival, then we might as well quit covering this sport. My gosh! But Jackson, with that being
South
said,
Carolina, good grief.
there's Tennessee.
Man, 2026. That'll be the first time since 1989, I believe, that Florida Tennessee won't be played on an annual basis. Like dead serious about it. They got it right with Texas. I mean, they're obviously have testing him on rivalry week. Texas Ole Miss pretty cool. Texas Auburn, that'll be fun. Texas Bama. Oh, I'm loving that. Let's go. Texas A&M. Missouri. No one's gonna put that on rivalry week. But we are going to see Texas A&M Arkansas for another year, but 2027 will be the first time since 2008 that game's not played. And Vanderbilt, yeah, I'm real excited about Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Okay, whatever. Oh man, but it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't think it'll feel weird not seeing Florida Tennessee for a little bit. But I don't. Again, it's kind of similar to Alabama LSU. People talk about it, but when they're both not doing as hot, no one's really talking about as much. Like nobody was talking about Florida Tennessee before the 90s. I mean, the only thing they talked about with Florida Tennessee was Doug Dickey because he coached at both schools. But that was it.
Oh my gosh. But with that being said though, Jackson, any final thoughts before we head out for the night? We've talked about SC annual rivalries. We've talked about Mike Gundy. We talked about John Mateer's injury. Anything else that we missed on?
No.
That's about it.
We'll go over it on Pitt's analysis later on Wednesday night.
Yes. So with that being said, though, make sure, obviously, we're normally not here on Tuesdays, obviously, but we were here this week. But obviously, you can find Jackson here on YouTube, and you can find me as well and my ex. And don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 11:15 Eastern, 10:15 Central for picks and analysis. We got a big week ahead of us. Penn State, Oregon, Bama, Georgia, Iowa State, Arizona. We've got some big games, big predictions coming. And you can also find Jackson on Blue Sky as well, where the skies are blue, as some may say, and the grass is green. And you can find Jackson on Alabama, the voice of college football as well, where he goes more in depth on what him, Jeffrey, and Coach Smook thinks about Bama's annual opponents / rivals. And you can also find some good merchandise as well, like this beautiful tumbler. You can get you a hat or get you a t-shirt, make you look snazzy on air, or make you get the ladies as well. I'm sure the ladies will think you look snazzy, or get you a journal or a dog bowl, whatever you prefer. But and you can find Jackson all over the place on his X / Instagram / his thread, all that and more. But we will
I've
see
been
you
making
all
fun
tomorrow
of
night.
Bruce Pearl a lot lately. So that's the best place to find me.
Mm-hmm. And what two said picks in the house is huge. Exactly. So be back here tomorrow at 11:15 Eastern, 10:15 Central, 8:15 if you're on the West Coasters for our West Coasters. But no link to Jackson's MySpace.
I don't even know
Steve
that
wants us to
website
play.
exists. Still.
Steve, you want some theme music? All right. For you, Steve, normally we save that for our 2 shows, but you know what, Jackson? He wants some theme music.
There we go.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will grace you with our presence again tomorrow night. Go Cards and roll tide, baby. And Jackson, let's hit that music.